Hey folks, it's Pappy Two Bears. Welcome you back again. And I'd like to have you join me tonight, if you don't mind. But before that, I'd like to introduce myself. For those that have always wanted to put a face with the voice, I'm Pappy Two Bears. I'm hoping that you're enjoying the videos that I've been uploading. The little things that I've learned on my earth walk, they've been pretty profound in my life, and perhaps you can find some use for them in yours. Recently, some people have talked to me about some issues that they've had with sleeping at night, and I'm hoping that perhaps the last video that I recorded on burning for change in the giveaway fire can help allay and put to rest some of those issues that are taxing on your mind. But there are other ways too. And if you don't mind, I'd like to have you all come and join me at Harmony Fire tonight as I tell you a story about a young fella that had the same problems. And then later on in life, he discovered that others had that problem as well, and such a caring little heart that he wanted to share. The teachings go back many ages, okay, and they come from one of the indigenous people, and I'll talk about that a little bit in the story. If some of the names sound vaguely familiar, rest assured that is probably by intent on my part. Okay, just so that you know, I do have a tendency to assign names to people that are near and dear to me. Okay, that display certain qualities and issues that are close to them are the same ones that I have. So tonight I'm going to tell you a little story. I hope you enjoy it. Bear with me as I get ready to light the Harmony fire and tell you the story that I would like to share with you. This story is about a young fella by the name of Thomas Littlepea. One day Thomas Littlepea was talking with one of his good friends while he was in school and asked him, he says, "Jeepers, you don't seem to have much energy to play anymore, and I noticed that you fell asleep in class. What's going on?" And his good friend told him about the bad dreams he had been having at night that kept waking him up so that he was always tired in class. Now this concerned Littlepea quite a bit because he had noticed that there were others in the class too that also seemed to be tired on some days. Being the curious fellow that he is, Littlepea asked some of the other classmates and found out that they too sometimes had bad dreams that woke them up at night, or they had other bad things that were going on that they kept remembering, and they couldn't sleep very well either. Thought Littlepea. I wonder if Papa Time Walker can figure out how I can help my classmates not have those darn dreams that keep waking them up. I'll ask my mom and dad and see if I can talk with him tonight, maybe after school. Well, that afternoon, after helping his mother clean the kitchen, Little P asked his mother if he could go see Papa Time Walker and ask him about something that was on his mind and see if he could help with it. Well, after explaining to his mom, she smiled at him and said, "You know, Little P, when you were younger, you used to have bad dreams too. Do you remember some of those that used to wake you up?" And Little P thought for a moment and said, "Yeah, I do remember a couple of times, but that was a long, long time ago. How come I don't have those bad dreams anymore?" Well, Little P's mother said, "That's a teaching that should be given by Papa Time Walker. You're old enough now, and you're going to be learning men's stuff pretty soon. Why don't you go and see him and ask him about it?" Little P grabbed the kitchen trash bag to throw out and dashed out the door. And Little P's mother called out and said, "Little P, remember to be back home to do your schoolwork assignment. And tell Papa Time Walker Mom said not to talk too long because you need to get home." Well, Little P walked out into Papa Time Walker's yard and saw that he was sitting on the porch, smiling and waving at him. "Hello, Little P. Your mom called and said you might be flying in to see me in a few minutes. I'll bet you took the shortcut to get here because it didn't take you very long. You must have traveled as a crow flies." "Hi, Papa. Did Mom tell you why I wanted to come over?" Well, Papa Time Walker replied, "Not really, Little P. Something about your classmates having problems sleeping at night, I think." "Yes," said Little P. "They keep having bad dreams that sometimes wake them up so they can't sleep too good. And they're too tired to play the next day, and they're falling asleep in class too." "Aha," said Papa. "I remember a few years ago when your mom and dad told me about the same thing happening with you. So I asked the Dreamweavers to find a way to trap the bad dreams so that you could sleep better. You know what they did, Little P?" Little P thought for a moment and said, "I don't think so, Papa. But I don't seem to have many bad dreams anymore, though. What did they do to stop them?" Well, Papa said, "They told me to give you a gift, and you still have it. You see it every night when you go in your bedroom to sleep. What do you see that reminds you of Spider?" It was then that Little P remembered the item hanging over his bed that had what looked like a spider web in the center with feathers hanging from the sides and the bottom. It had been there for a long, long, long time. And he used to like to lay there and watch it turn and spin slowly as the feathers responded to the breeze coming in the bedroom window. Many times he remembered it as the last thing he saw before falling asleep at night. And he told Papa about it. He said, "Oh, Little P, you do know what the Dreamweavers gifted you. That is called a dream catcher. Like the spider web that traps things the spider needs, the web of the dream catcher also traps things, like bad dreams, so they don't fall on you while you're sleeping." I guess it must have worked, huh? Wow, Papa. Yeah, the dream catcher was a gift to us from the Ojibwe people. And the grandmothers there had noticed that the spider used that web to trap things. And they thought about it. And they prayed about it. And they got some answers that said, hey, you too can also use this spider web to capture things. All you have to do is put your intent and your prayers into it. And Creator will make that so it works for you. Now, the Ojibwe people believed that the good dreams were as light as air. Good dreams can wander gently through the night and make their way down to a sleeping child or a sleeping person through the feathers and the twigs on the dream catcher. Bad dreams, now, there's nothing gentle about a bad dream. Bad dreams are violent and rambunctious. They plunge about in the night air and they dart down towards the sleeping person or the baby, and the dream catchers will catch them in its web. The bad dreams get all tangled up in the dream catcher. There they stay, trapped until morning, when the sun rises and sends them away. Other tribes heard about this, other peoples heard about this, and they adopted this idea also. So today you'll see many Native American artists and many people will make dream catchers to sell, to share, to keep, and to use. That's the important thing. Well, Little Crow was going to be the recipient of this teaching from Little P. But Little P still had some questions in his mind. So he asked, Papa Time Walker, is the dream catcher magic? No, Little P, the dream catcher's not magic. It's made out of twigs and it's made out of twine and it's got feathers on it and it's got some beads and those sort of things. Well, how does it work, Papa? Ah, that's a question that I was hoping you would ask. It's because of the work of the Dreamweavers. Papa Time Walker, who are the Dreamweavers? Now the Dreamweavers, Little P, are the grandmothers. They're the ones that learned from the spider. Okay? And you know the Dreamweavers. I do? Yes. How many grandmothers do you have, Little P? Papa Time Walker, he says, I call everybody Grandma. Well, that's right, Little P. Do you ever notice how all the grandmas come together once in a while at your mom's house? And that they get together and they do things? Yeah, I've noticed that, Papa. Well, the Dreamweavers are doing the work of the woman's medicine. And what they've done is they put their prayers into these dream catchers that they've been making, and the blankets that they make, and the food that they prepare, the clothes that they make. All of these things they put prayers in. It is the prayers they're putting in these things that they make is where the magic is. It's not the things that have been made, but it's the prayers that are upon them and the intent they've placed in it. That's what gives the medicine its power. Wow, Papa. You know the Dreamweavers, don't you, Little P? You know great-grandmother? You know one we call Unchima? That's 7 feathers. And Grandmother Dove Spirit, Grandmother Crow Song, Grandmother Lights the Night, Grandmother Sees the Night, Grandmother Budding Heart, and Grandmother Planting Love. These are your grandmothers. You know them all. They're also your family. Well, Little P thought about that for a while. And he said, Papa, is everybody's family this large? And Papa replied, Little P, everybody's family can be as large as their heart will allow them to have. So there are many grandmothers out there. There are many grandfathers out there. There are many aunties out there and uncles out there. They're all family. We're all connected. It's the intent of something in our hearts that establishes the reality in our lives. Now, little P, look, I know what Mama probably told you, and it's getting kind of late here, so we're going to be talking later on as you get a little bit older on some more important things. But right now, you better get home before I get in trouble with your mama or your daddy comes looking for you. Okay, so skedaddle. But before you go, I want you to go in and ask Grandma if you can have one of the dream catchers. Okay, and I want you to take that to school with you. Okay, and give that to Little Crow. Okay, and explain it to him. And explain it to your other friends at school if you want to. All right? And tell them how the dream catchers and the dream catcher came to help the people. Maybe it'll be of some help to them too. Well, little P was beaming with joy as he ran home. He couldn't wait to explain to all of his friends the things that Papa Time Walker had told him. He was learning so many things about life as he grew up, and it was really exciting to be discovering all the hidden gifts that seemed to have been made just for him. Friends, there are so many gifts in this world that are waiting for you to claim them. They're yours. When they present themselves to you, take them. Take them gratefully. It's always, always, always about healing, about love, about harmony, allowing you to be the best of creation, because you've certainly been created for a purpose. And all purposes have value. I ask that you join me again sometime in the future here at Harmony Fire. And yes, life is real. We have dogs that bark, traffic that goes by, embers that fall on bare skin. That's part of life. If you're looking for something that's going to be completely edited and professional, that's not the way life is. Life is the way that it happens. The only way that we can change the way life is happening is to remember the lessons of the past, apply them in our present, and send out our request for the future, and live it. Thank you, friends. I appreciate so much you being in my earth walk with me, and perhaps at some time we'll walk together soon. If you think of anyone that may have a use for what we've talked about tonight or what I've discussed, please share it with them. If you find that it's worthy,